Welcome back. Politics, my goodness, what a space. And 22423 is our SMS line, #Newsnight. Thank you for your feedback. Let's take a look at what Kenyans are saying this evening, even as we have Ababu Tera Namwamba, the head of international relations at the WSR presidential campaign, and Professor Makau Mutua, spokesperson Raila Odinga, presidential campaign secretariat. Okay, your feedback. Sammy Pike, or Peak. I'd like to ask Makau Mutua, Raila said he would lower food prices. How? And why not do it now? Okay, I'll get that in. Let's pick another one. Remember, #Newsnight, Mohammed Abdik 2. Ask Ababu Namwamba if he regrets leaving Raila's camp. And ask Professor, what strategies are they putting in place to reduce the influence of DP in the mountain? He is too far ahead of them. This is Mutara from Laikipia. Is locked. Okay, you're watching. All right. Let's see. Situwaka. How different will William Ruto's foreign policy be compared to preceding regimes? How beneficial will it be to our nation and the people? This is to you, Ababu, I believe. All right. Let's pick another few more. Duncan Ondie, kindly ask the two chief campaigners, is it a must that their candidates use abusive language and hate speech to get votes, like Muizi, Bwana wa Kitendawili? What do they say about this? Okay, that's a good one.
It is a good one.
That's a good one. My guess here agree. Mukolwe 254, you say, good to see Ababu back on our screens. I actually expected him to vie for Senate in our home county of Busia. Okay, we'll hear from him on that one. Okay, and we'll pick another few more via our SMS line 22422. Where did we end? Okay, so Prof, let me come to you. Food prices. How? Yeah. Why not now?
Yeah, I think obviously it is true that food prices have gone up in this country. But I just want to say that this is not a problem that is unique to Kenya. The country in which I've been living for the last 40 years or so, the United States of America, has experienced a very high spike in basically the cost of food, fuel, and other basic commodities. And as you know, the United States is a wealthy country. So if the United States is feeling those pains out of the COVID crisis, you can imagine what's happening here. I think what I want to say to Kenyans is that we feel their pain. I think our manifesto laid out, a coordinated and integrated, program to tackle these issues. It is difficult to tackle one issue by itself, but what I want to say is this: we will, as a government, in our first few days, address this problem of the skyrocketing food prices and the cost of basic foodstuffs like
how?
Basically by reducing the cost of those commodities. I said before that these problems are interrelated. So one of the things that we will do immediately upon coming into power is to seal the loopholes of corruption where this money is lost. It is out of husbanding part of those proceeds that had been stolen before that we'll be able to address some of these issues. I think that it is not possible for us to stand by and watch our people suffer the way they are suffering. This is something that Mr. Odinga will do, and will do very quickly.
It could take anywhere between 6 months to 5 years to really take a tough stance on corruption. You have to go through all the processes, the courts, etc. If it's to bring back money from other countries, there are processes. In the meantime, Kenyans are demanding that you quickly lower down the food prices.
Yes.
Fuel, 9 shillings per litre on top from tonight. We have about another hour or so if you want to go fill up your vehicle.
Yes.
What are you going to do for Kenyans then in that period as you fight corruption?
I think no one pretends, and I don't think the other side pretends, that this is an easy problem. It is not an easy problem.
So it's not 100 days?
It's going to be in the first 100 days, for sure. But what I want to say to you is that I'm sure that, you watch news. Because you also report them. You have seen the kind of problem that there is in the United States with just food prices alone. This is a global problem. The war in Ukraine has compounded that problem, and so for us, we are part of this global problem. But what I want to say that we are determined to address it. We will address it at the first opportunity, and we'll give Kenyans a report.
Okay, Ababu, come in, and even as you talk about that, talk a bit about language.
Okay.
On the campaign trail.
Wahiga, You know, when Professor claims that Raila joined Uhuru to stabilize this country, I was just wondering, who destabilized the country in the first place? Who caused the instability that we are told was being sorted? That is something that I would want to hear Professor tell us. Because if you came to stabilize, then someone must have destabilized. And
I think it's off topic.
There's a history. But let me quickly move to let me quickly move to this question of the cost of living. Wahiga, there is a reason why our entire conversation as Kenya Kwanza, the crux of the conversation around William Samoei Ruto is economy, economy, economy. And we believe that on August 9th, Kenyans will actually be making a choice between people who are solely, unequivocally, and singularly focused on economic revival, dealing on this monster of food prices and the debt burden that we are told in Azimio quarter that is not even an issue that we should be so worried about.
That's completely untrue.
And people who are telling us their first order of business is to amend the constitution.
That is also
to return BBI reggae.
Give me the give me the how. William Ruto, as per your wish, is sworn in, starts office. He's got a 1 trillion shilling deficit.
Yes.
He's got rising food prices globally and locally. He's got rising fuel prices. We are told fuel prices could rise again in July and in August if you look at trends as well. He's got no money to work with. What does he do? Where does he get money to bring down that cost of living?
And that's why I'm telling you that our singular focus, Wahiga, is on finding solutions to these challenges.
You have the solutions today.
We have solutions. On June 30th, as I have promised you,
we wait for the manifesto.
We will release. It is not just a manifesto, Wahiga. This is not just a manifesto.
The magic bullet.
Wahiga, we have gone...
Let him finish.
I don't know. I didn't know that Professor could actually heckle.
No, come on, I'm not heckling. I'm just making a side comment.
Okay,
making a side comment.
But Wahiga, this is not just another manifesto. We have gone around every single county to engage with the people of this country in our bottom-up economic forums. We are listening to people. We are sitting on the other side of the aisle with the people speaking to us from the podium. And they are fleshing out and synthesizing their own issues and also offering solutions. We are collating all that, Wahiga, into what we believe truly will be a silver bullet to what ails this country. And the solution, as I've already said, is having an economy, having a social stratification that is more inclusive, that does not criminalize enterprise. Because today, honestly, Wahiga, we have a system that criminalizes small and medium-sized enterprise. We want a system where tax collection, for instance, is not a security measure. Today, you aired the sad story of Keroche, which we believe is perhaps a good representation of what a bad taxation regime can bring on enterprise. And so a collection of all these ideas, Wahiga, constitutes what we believe to be a blueprint that we'll place before the people of Kenya on June 30th. And we believe that on the basis of that blueprint, with the singular focus on the economy, we will be able to start reversing the tragic scenario that this country is in at the moment.
And you're talking as a former CS in government. Just left office 4-5 months ago.
Wahiga, I am not ashamed to admit that this country is in the wrong place. I'm not ashamed to admit.
Why did you stay in office so long, serving a regime that was taking the country in the wrong place?
What is important, Wahiga, that I'm not in office today, and I'm part of the solution and not part of the problem. And I'm glad that I'm not part of a formation that is obsessed with loading this bad situation with the first bill they incur should they, in the very unlikely event that they take government, would be a BBI.
Well, actually, he left.
A BBI
his candidate did not.
He
left. To his credit, he left.
Two questions.
To his credit, he left.
Two questions. One from a viewer here who says, do they support lifestyle audits for their presidential candidates and for themselves? And Fred Obachi Machoka is asking that I pose this question. Please, guys in studio, your insiders in studio, help us to honestly understand who is our current deputy president.
Exactly correct.
So those are two. Let's start with lifestyle audit. Yeah. You support lifestyle audit for your candidate and for yourself as well.
Let me just say that actually our side of the aisle, our political side, has always advocated for a lifestyle audit. In fact, we believe that this is the fundamental and the central tool for cleaning up this country. I think that unless we can hold people to account, to explain in the public arena, on pain of the full force of the law, what they acquired, how they acquired it, and what they have done with it. We've seen, for example, in the recent past, examples of individuals who have gargantuan amounts of money that they dish out. I'm told that I should not mention the candidate on the side opposite, but we know how much money he gives out. We don't know where he gets this money. These are people who cannot pass in lifestyle audit. We believe that the next government must institute a mandatory, publicly available lifestyle audit. And if an individual...
You need to change the law for that, or put something in the law to mandate it.
Yeah,
so that's something you promise.
Yeah, absolutely. And if an individual is so dirty that they have a trail of scandal or theft behind them, those people should not offer themselves for public office, whether elective or appointive. And I hope that my friend here would agree with me that that is one tool that we can use, even as lawyers, to clean up this country.
Okay.
So that, to me, I can say that that's a non-negotiable for us.
And even for yourself?
And even for myself.
How much are you worth?
Well, I mean, why do you want to know, Wahigwa?
I just want to give you a chance right now to begin to implement what you're promising will happen.
Let me say that I'm neither poor nor am I rich.
Okay. Ababu, lifestyle audit. First for your presidential candidate.
Yes.
Is that something you'd push for internally?
Absolutely. That is something that we support unequivocally, fully. And Wahiga, you'd agree with me, and even Prof, if he were to remove his political blinkers and look at this objective, will agree that no Kenyan, no political leader in this country has been audited more than William Samoei Ruto. He's audited in public rallies. He's just been audited by Professor Makau Mutua here.
This is a new use of the word.
No.
Listen, that's new English language. He has invented a new word.
Okay.
I mean, if Raila Odinga or any other leader that is seeking office were to be audited at a fraction of the auditing William Ruto goes through daily, then we would be in a great place. And so for us, this is not something new. This is something we live with daily, including right now.
I will not laugh. I'll hold back my laughter.
Hold back, yeah.
I can tell you for free that we would love that to be institutionalized, not really personalized and weaponized. And that is why our position as Kenya Kwanza on the question of integrity is so clear, Wahiga. I don't know why you can't catch it. It is so clear, you can feel it. It's pervasive in this room even. It's about choosing to institutionalize as opposed to personalize this whole integrity question. Empower the institutions, okay, that should be doing this. Why don't we have the judiciary fund to have the judiciary fully deployed? Because the judiciary, and the president has said this repeatedly, the judiciary has always been that link that somehow causes some kind of clog in the conveyor belt in the war on corruption. Why don't we unleash the full complement of the judiciary fund? Why don't we give the investigative agencies, ESCC, even the Inspector General of Police, the DPP, why don't we give them both operational and physical autonomy so that they can be fully deployed in this war on
Did you ever feel the need to raise this concern? And I keep coming back to you because you just left government the other day. Did you, are these concerns that were discussed in meetings? Do you know if they were brought up in cabinet?
These are issues. Yes, go ahead.
These
are issues which we share. But most importantly for me, Waihiga, because I'm speaking for the now, for the present and tomorrow. History is a good teacher, but history is a lousy master. And so I don't want to be a slave of history. I want to look forward. And what I know is that as Kenya Kwanza, we will invest heavily in institutionalizing the whole arena of integrity.
Okay.
And I believe it is the way to go.
In the interest of time, lifestyle audit for yourself, you're open to that?
Absolutely, I would be open to that.
How much are you worth?
I mean, I'm comfortable, Waihiga. I'm comfortable.
You're comfortable?
I'm comfortable.
Gentlemen, in the interest of time...
But I've not eaten anybody's gut.
You have not eaten anyone's?
Anybody's gut. And I have no intention.
Viewers want to know today, what impact did the naming of the running mates of your presidential candidates have on your campaigns? Let's start with you, Prof.
Yeah, I think
the impact of the naming of Martha Karua.
Yeah, I think that that particular choice of Martha Karua was inspired. It was historic.
Was it a difficult one?
You know,
what can you tell us?
Inspired and historic choices are always complex. But I think what the naming of Ms. Karua says about Mr. Odinga is that he's an individual who is willing to go where others have not gone before. Martha Karua now sits in a position whereby we believe that she'll be the first woman deputy president of this country, with a chance at some point in the future of becoming the first female president. This is gargantuan. This is historic in its own merit. I think that you've seen the reception that she has received across the political divide, across the country. My friends here have been gnashing their teeth and cursing the bejesus out of... Are
you gnashing your teeth for us, Prof? We are definitely not.
Because of the choice they made. I think they could not have made a worse choice for themselves and a better choice for us than Mr. Gachagua. They just could not have done it. If you look at Ms. Karua and Mr. Gachagua, these are basically, two very different choices, like night and day. One is a progressive who promotes the rule of law, who has a clean history. The other is an individual who is anything but. And I'll say this to you. We've seen in the last just several weeks what has happened to the polling in this country. We've seen Mr. Ruto stagnate in his polling. In the mid to lower 30s, he's not moving. His campaign is sinking. We have seen on the other side our campaign surging. Mr. Ruto,
and that side, the Kenya Kwanza side has rubbished those polls. They say they see no legitimacy.
They rubbish the polls, when they are behind, and they load them when they are ahead. But one thing is clear: Mr. Odinga has surged forward, and today I can just tell you this, Wahiga. Mr. Odinga is now poised to become a front runner in this race. Just given the trajectory of what has happened. I'll tell you something else before...
Briefly, I need to allow Babu.
Briefly. I would say that the choice of Martha Karua as running mate has transformed the race. The coming on board of Kalonzo Musyoka to Azimio has sealed the election.
That's your reading.
There's no path forward for these guys. There's no path to victory for these guys. If I was them, I would simply hang up the boots and go home. There's no path forward.
Let them. We still have 55 days to go, Prof.
Waihiga, quickly on this whole discussion about polls.
Before polls.
Yeah,
let
me just clear the polls.
Okay, then we come
because you see, Kenyans know that Raila Odinga is the king of polls. and Raila has been leading in polls for the last 20 years. That is a dance. We are pretty much happy to watch them dance around, and we could even cheer them on. So, I mean, Raila always wins the polls race. But the rubber meets the road in the ballot. Okay? That's where the rubber meets the road.
I don't think that...
Now, on the choice...
He listened to you.
He has never read polls.
No. And on the choice of running mate, we believe that Honorable Rigathi Gachagua is the perfect running mate. He exemplifies the hustler spirit. He exemplifies the bottom-up model that we champion. And we have no doubt that he has added energy, he has added verve to our campaign, absolutely. You know, listening to Professor describe my good friend and learned friend, Martha, and the image that comes to my mind, number one, is someone who has just flipped from opposing BBI to now championing the first agenda of changing the Constitution. For me, that kind of flipping tells me something very wrong with character. I think of someone who has a tendency to walk out. This is a lady who walked out on Moi. This is a lady who walked out on Kibaki. I mean, if you could walk out on Kibaki, I mean, she might just walk out even before the campaign ends because of that history. And so really we are not so worried. And they keep on saying about this women thing. They say Martha...
Well, gender equality is not gender empowerment is not a women's thing.
Let me tell you, Waihiga, we have put forth a formidable platform on the gender question. The Women Charter that our candidates signed with the women of Kenya is a platform, a comprehensive platform that is telling the women of Kenya...
That charter was slapped together because of Azimio's choice of Mother Karua. They were trying to respond to our choice of Mother Karua. No, that's what they were trying to do.
That is not true.
Yeah, come on, you know it is true.
No, it's not true, Prof.
I have irrefutable information about that.
Prof, your information is wrong.
From them.
Information is wrong.
From inside the account.
We are telling the women of Kenya that this is not about one woman. This is not about an individual. This is about a platform to fix the gender conundrum. And we are talking about half of cabinet being women. We are talking about finally unlocking the...
All those announcements came after Martha was announced as a candidate.
Please, okay, Prof, allow me my time. And so we believe...
We are out of time, actually.
We have put forward a platform that Kenya women can believe in, a platform that Kenya women can trust and can log in collectively.
When all their top candidates are just mayors.
And we're here to know that out of the 9 candidates seeking to be out of the 9 female candidates seeking to be governor in this country, 7 are Kenya Kwanza. And therefore, Kenya Kwanza is poised to have a majority of female governors in this country. Poised, of course. Besides having half the cabinet being female, besides unlocking the whole issue of the two-third gender conundrum in Parliament. And so we have a solid platform to engage and to make sure that the women of this country will be fully included.
They lost.
Parting shot. We need to allow Kenyans to go and rest.
They lost on this. They lost on Wednesday. They lost on this particular issue. The moment they chose Gachagua, and the moment.
But why do you speak for us?
We chose they lost the election on that day. I can tell you that. They lost.
When you talk about Kalonzo Musyoka, Kalonzo is nothing new in Azimio. It's nothing new.
No, but you guys were salivating.
Salivating how?
You are just salivating and trying.
How do we salivate over something we've never had?
No, you
can never counter laws of something that you've never had.
So why are you?
That has never been part of you.
Why are you in mourning?
Kalonzo has always been part of you guys.
Why are you in mourning?
I mean, we are on fire. We are on fire.
You are about the language on the political campaign from leading members of both your camps. I want to give you 30 seconds each to respond to that. Then we let Kenyans go to sleep.
All I can say simply is that I think we want to run a clean campaign. We regret the language that is coming from the other side.
Some say also from your side.
No. Let's just be clear, Wahiga. You know, we have heard what these guys have been saying on the campaign trail about our candidate, about our platform, about people who support us. Their language is foul. I think their moms should wash their mouths with soap because what they have been saying is unacceptable. All I can say is that we appeal to them to tone down that rhetoric.
Okay.
Yeah, to make sure that that the campaign that is going to be run is...
Any regrets about what your side has been saying, Prof?
Well, I mean, I have not really heard anything that's negative.
Oh, come on.
I really haven't heard it.
Prof, are you
selective?
No, I really haven't heard it. And
amnesia.
if something negative has been said, I'll be the first one to condemn it.
Ababu, 30 seconds, please.
I love Prof's penchant for collective amnesia, because that is what he's demonstrating here. That's what he's professing here, because his candidate goes all over the place insulting our candidate as being a thief, as being all sorts of things, foul language. You see, when a term like kitendawili is used, it's just a term of art. It's a term of art in reference to...
Has it not been twisted, though, in
no,
Kenya?
It hasn't. It hasn't.
You don't get that sense that it's a derogatory...
at all.
If kitendawili is a term of art, then thief is a term of law.
Yes, Ababu.
I want to tell you, Wahiga, I want to sit here, look Kenyans straight in the eye, and say clean campaigns are part of integrity. Clean campaigns should become part of the DNA of our budding democracy. And if we are going to mature this constitutional democracy and take it to the next level, then that is something we must...
I say amen.
As we wrap up,
I say amen. I say amen.
Avoid selective
I say amen.
Avoid
to
selective
that.
Last question to you, Ababu. In 5 seconds, he believes the polls. You don't believe them. What's your side seeing are the numbers?
Prof, the Raila Odinga's biggest enemies.
Not about Raila Odinga. What are you seeing as... We're out of time.
So what do you see in the polls?
What do you see?
I know you are doing internal polling. What do you see?
We are winning this election.
What percentages?
In first round.
What percentage?
We are winning this election.
What percentage?
I'm the one asking the questions, Professor.
Okay.
Prof, are you interviewing me?
Ababu, do you have any numbers for us?
We are hitting 60%.
60%.
Yes, we are very comfortable. We are winning this election. All the numbers, all the stars are aligned in the direction of William Samoei Ruto, 5th President of the Republic of Kenya. Raila is going to lose this election for the 5th time.
And Prof, you said you've seen 40% plus. And what was the last?
I think that...
no, without referring to him,
I simply say that I think that the race is now, we are in the mid-40s.
Mid-40s?
And they are in the mid-30s. That's where the race is. That's where all the polling, is showing us. Even the internal polling shows that they're in the mid-30s. Our polling and the polling of independents show that we are in a... We've left them in the dust.
I don't know how you know their polls. We're going to leave that for
I have sources in there.
Come on, bro.
I have sources in there.
We are going to wrap it up.
Our defenses cannot be breached.
Gentlemen, we wait for them to launch their manifesto.
Yeah.
Then
we'll come back and talk about
both manifestos on the table.
We'll come back and talk about
a real moment. A real seismic moment for Kenya.
Yeah.
We'll wait for that.
It was good debating with you, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
They've shaken hands again. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Ababu Tera Namwamba there, head of international relations at the William Samoei Ruto presidential campaign, and Professor Makau Mutua, spokesperson, Raila Odinga presidential campaign secretariat. Sorry, we can't go through all the questions. It's almost 11:30. We need to wrap it up. On behalf of the whole team that's made this broadcast possible, thank you for tuning in. Thank you to my guests once again. Our sign language interpreter this evening, working through for the last 2.5 hours, Wilson Mushora. Thank you also. And to the whole team as well, thank you. And to Kenyans, thank you for tuning in. We do this every Tuesday to bring you the latest in terms of political trends, what's happening on the ground, and we bring you opinion shapers and leaders to answer your questions. Well, this is where we leave it at. My name is Wahiga Mwaura. Have a good night. Stay safe. We'll see you soon. Goodbye for now.